Okay, so this is your primary,
Mm-hmm.
and what's your monthly payment on this
2514.56.
a month? Okay.
And then I have a second.
Yes. The rental, is it a rental?
No, we took it out on our home, second line.
Oh, you have a second mortgage.
Yes.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Okay, I don't want to hear about it, but let's go ahead.
Okay, that's the balance is 146,245,
Uh-huh.
and its payments 991.54 a month,
Uh-huh.
and it's 4.25%.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. So the very first thing I would do if I were in your situation is I would call whoever has the second mortgage and ask that it be converted into a HELOC.
Okay.
Okay. 99% of the time they will do it. You've got to get out of the second mortgage. That is doing nothing but suffocating you. How long have you been in it?
2 years.
Okay. So that's the first suggestion, is to convert. If they won't convert, then you need to probably move into a first lien HELOC and get rid of both of them.
Okay.
Okay. So what that means is you could turn both of these payments into cash flow if you get this into a right tool.
Okay.
All right. So
Mhm.
what kind of cash flow do you have right now?
After doing a calculation, I have 3707.43, 3,707.43.
Okay. So let me show you what the difference would be between paying these two separately in mortgages like you are compared to what it would look like for you in a line of credit. So
Okay.
I'm assuming that this is a 30-year.
Yes, the first one is a 30 year, second one 20, I think. Yeah, 20.
Wow. Okay. All right. So let's look. How much was your original amount borrowed on this?
Which one?
The second.
The original was, I think, 162.
So you're going to pay them back 238 if you keep this up.
Okay.
I don't even want to know what this one is. I'm sure that you're going to be paying back almost double on it. So you'll be right at $1 million on it. So you have 3,000 cash flow. So that's a total of 696,085 that you owe currently for both.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you could cut paying both of these down to 14 and a half years doing nothing but transferring them into one line.
Okay.
So the simple interest on a line ends up letting you pay off the balance in half the time for your main primary. And then this one even has 4, 5, 6 years less just because you transferred it into a line. So you're going to be able to move faster than that if you add other strategies to that. But this one is something that you could check into today, getting started to see how you're going to take care of that.
Do they call, like, is there a possibility that they can call the loan and say, hey, depending on the economic times, we need you to pay this back sooner than
No,
what we...
a first lien, no more likely than a mortgage.
Okay.
A second position, like if you were to transfer this into or convert it into a HELOC, those have happened. That has happened.
But
with
not
them.
the first position typically.
The first lien to date has never done that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And the reason is because your mortgage is in the first position. So if you default, they'll just sell the property, get their money out of the property. Same with a first lien. It's in the first position.
Okay.
The second position, HELOC, is not. So if you default, the first position is going to get their money, and if there's any left over, the second position we get it.
I mean, there's not a chance we'll default in terms of our end unless they're like change something.
Right.
Well, I may pay this off now.
Right. Well, that's the purpose of saying the first position isn't as worried as the second position anyway.
Gotcha.
So that's why they're safer. Okay. So that is your first option, but just as good as that option, or better actually, is the Money Max. So you could transfer, it's not a transfer really, it's just an organization that the Money Max does to eliminate interest. So when you've got interest being eliminated with the Money Max, you're talking about probably cutting this 14 and a half years in half.
Okay.
That's how much damage it does. So if you were to go for, I don't know what your other debt is besides this, which must not be too much if
No,
you
well,
have a 3,000 cash flow.
yeah, like our like our debt payments equals 7267.80,
Mhm.
which is,
What is your total of your debt
yeah,
outside of these two?
yeah, I'm looking at that right now. It is 63,309.25, and that includes that's a couple student loan for one of my kids, another loan that we have. Credit cards are only
Your total
14,000. It's credit cards and two auto loans.
What's your total payments then on this debt?
That is the 7317.80 a month.
I mean, with these two though,
Yes, with those two, yes.
you're talking about 3,800 ish in these payments. Okay, so another thing that's really good about the first lien is if you have 1.8 million for a value, they're going to give you 1.6 million of your equity available because they do a 90% loan to
Mhm.
value. So what that means is you could pay off all of your debt then. And let's see what that looks like if you were to do it all in one.
It says here my total debt is 870,594.
I'm looking at 659.5 according to the number you gave me here.
I'm looking at your, oh wait, let's move that. It's including that. We captured 25 from something else that I was not calculating. My debt, what did you come up with?
760, right at it, 760.
Hmm.
According to these totals, you've got 63,309.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at online here, like the personal debt line. It says like the mortgage total is 696.85, and then like the auto loans is 73,149.
Okay, so you're higher.
Yeah. So if I look at what the worksheet is that I prepared, filled out, the total debt says it's 845, 632.98, and that's including the mortgages, the auto loans, the few credit cards that we have, and student loans.
What does it say that the payments are at the bottom of that?
The total
payments?
monthly is 7267.80.
Okay, so that was right. It's just okay. So we'll just figure it on the 845 then.
I mean, I like your number better, but
Well, I mean, we want a true.
we have to be accurate.
Yeah. So you're talking about still doing a payoff in less than 18 years. But the Money Max again is going to come in and cut that in half. So you're probably looking at, I'm thinking 8 to 9 years. Okay, never mind. Okay, so let me go back here.
Okay.
Because I was figuring on your last numbers up here. So let me redo that just a second. So you're talking about 10 to 12-year payoff using a line of credit.
Okay.
And then with the Money Max, you're talking probably a 5-year payoff. And I imagine that to be a high 5-year.
Money Max. Okay. How does that, I guess I need to look into that, just see how that differs so much. I mean, that's a big difference, half the amount of time.
Yeah, because you have good cash flow already. But when you're taking this money and putting it into a line of credit, and then the Money Max is eliminating the rest of the interest, then you're talking about half of the time. So you're looking, I would be so shocked with doing this and the Money Max if you're looking at 5 to 7 years max on all the debt. If you're just doing the line of credit, and like I said, you're looking at about 12 years, 10, 12 years. It depends on how well you use the line of credit and if you have any kind of things that come up that want to cause life events.